Hey, what's up, y'all? Let's go.
Late nights, I feel my heartbeat racing slow in candlelight. Words unspoken, feelings hidden, shadows dance until the morning light. When you say you need me, I'm holding on tight. All these doubts inside me fading out of sight. In this moment, nothing else feels right. You're probably right, yeah, you're probably right.
All right. Hey, what's up, y'all? This is MCM, and you're listening to You Probably Right podcast. This is episode 288, I think. Is it really? Or is it two? I can't even remember. Which episode are we actually on? You know what, guys? I really do appreciate every single view, every single download, every single person who takes time to spend with us here over at You're Probably Right. Remember, I am not a professor of anything except a professing Christian, and everything that I generally talk about, I've had some experience one way or the other. I might either be the perpetrator, the accomplice, or the victim. So, the original thing or impetus was for me to have this podcast and kind of just not necessarily just talk about things that grind my gears, but although I think it's a funny term. I don't know, just everyday stuff. You know what I mean? Like, supposedly this is a podcast that is evergreen. So I try to talk about things that will affect people long after I am gone. But just natural things I believe that happens to other people or things that people regularly deal with. I'm not here trying to reinvent the wheel. I believe in the 66 books of the Bible. And I'm just talking about everyday regular stuff here. And I'm sure you could probably, a lot of the stuff that I honestly, that I talk about on this podcast, there are certain strategies and ways that you could probably cut through all of the muss that I talk about. You see, because on this podcast, I'm more talking about just natural stuff, but there's many things that are addressed in the Bible that will give you, if you understand it and if you are chosen to be able to interpret it for your life, and it becomes a living, breathing life into your life that can guide you in the right direction. So a lot of this stuff you can cut through, but I'm just kind of just making this podcast is kind of just for the masses. So, if they don't have the right thing, here's, me just talking about things that affect their lives. But as I said before, a lot of this you could just put under the blood, as one would say, and live a total different life. And a lot of this stuff will not affect you in the same way, although some of it, because we are natural human beings living in a natural world, affected by the natural things of this element, some of the stuff applies. And to you who have no idea what the heck I'm talking about, just remember, this is a regular worldly podcast. It is a podcast, but at the same time by a Christian. So my beliefs come out of what is in the 66 books of the Bible. I'm sure I'm not always the best example of it, because I'm sure sometimes some things I talk about on this podcast, it's like, don't really affect a person who's living a righteous life, to tell you the truth, in many instances. Anyhow, this podcast is called When Relief Becomes Attraction. Now, I might change that because it's kind of, I don't know. Well, who knows? Not really sure yet. Anyhow, check it out. Welcome back to You're Probably Right podcast. Today, we're talking about something that every man, every woman, every couple needs to understand if they've ever dealt with someone who pulls away the second things feel good and feel too close. This episode is about relief, surprisingly. You're like, huh, relief? I'm sure people could think about different things that they do in their life, natural course of life daily, that would constitute, I guess, relief, but that is not necessarily what we're talking about here, guys. Okay, this episode is about controlled presence. This episode is about why certain people, especially avoidantly wired people, don't respond to pressure, intensity, or emotional weight. You know, some of us want to be intense and really tackle an issue with someone, and some people are not able to just sit there and tackle the issue right away when you're ready to do it. But they respond immediately to calm, steady, grounded energy. Okay? This is a different one, but you know, it's funny that I'm sure this affects a lot of people, but I'm yet to see very many podcast episodes of anybody's about this, but I mean, it might start, or maybe I'm just missing it because I don't listen to that many different podcasts, I guess. Who knows? Anyhow, before anyone gets triggered, let me be very, very clear. We're not teaching manipulation. We are not teaching emotional tricks. We are not teaching regulation. As a matter of fact, I'm not really teaching. I'm just a guy here talking. How to become the kind of person who calms someone's nervous system instead of overwhelming it with more drama and more pressure and more emotion, right? And all that's doing for a lot of people is just overwhelming them. Now listen, some people bond through closeness, others bond through space. Some people relax when you talk, others relax when you stop talking. Now, some people feel safe in intensity, others feel safe in calm. And the funny thing about that is that if you can pick out yourself or pinpoint yourself and maybe pick out the opposite, like some people relax with talking and some people relax when you stop talking. And a lot of the time, the people who are on either side wonder why everybody on the opposite side is not on their side, which would be the normal side, right? And generally, both sides feel that way about it. It's just their nature, their reality, their history, what they're comfortable with, what they've experienced. And if you've ever been with someone who seems amazing one day and distant the next, someone warm today and withdrawn tomorrow, someone who seems to love the connection, but then instantly needs to breathe the moment it gets real, this episode is for you. I'm going to say that again. Listen, if you've ever been with someone who is or who seems amazing, say on Monday, and then distant on Tuesday, and then someone who's warm on Wednesday, and then they're withdrawn on Thursday, or someone who seems to love connection on Friday, but then instantly needs to breathe on Saturday, we'll check it out. It's Sunday. That didn't really make sense. But the point is, guys, is that I think this might open the eyes of some people in some ways. But if it doesn't, it is what it is. At least then you know what not to do, as I said before. This episode is for you, though, if you understand what I'm talking about. Obviously, I'm talking to you. Listen, because what you call rejection is often activation. What you call distance is often self-protection. What you called mixed signals is often just a nervous system that never learned how to trust closeness. So they're kind of back and forth all over the place. And when you understand that, you stop taking everything they do as personal, and you start showing up in the one way that pulls such a person closer without force, relief, and controlled presence. Okay, let's break it down. What relief actually means? You'd like to know. It means your tone is teaching, steady, calm. Relief is the first psychological pillar of connection for an avoidant person. Relief is not being passive. Relief is not being cold. See, people would think, oh, just leave them alone, take off, dust, or let them walk over you, being passive. Relief is not pretending that you don't care, because you do. Otherwise, you wouldn't even be listening to this. You wouldn't be concerned about this at all. But it's not a trick, and that's the problem. Most of the things nowadays, when people teach things these days, everything is, if you do this and you say that, then you'll have more friends. If you you say hi to everybody in the building constantly, eventually you'll be known as a more likable person, obviously. But it's not just, it's not only what you're doing that affects the other person. It's, you want to understand why and why it actually makes sense. Other ways of knowing that a person can be or feel inside is important, and that will help you to take it from manipulative performance, and rather just how you interact with people like this, or give you at least a better understanding, right, on what affects them negatively and positively. You get what I mean, right? Relief simply means this: you stop applying emotional pressure to a nervous system that already feels overloaded. Avoidant people feel calm when you stop pushing for clarity, stop pressing for emotional labels. What are we, right? Stop asking, what are we, every 2 days. Stop demanding speed or intensity. Stop trying to fix their distance. That's just where they're comfortable being. I know it's difficult, and you shouldn't tolerate disrespect or no respect, disrespect for even your time. But understand that this helps them regulate themselves. They need more distance. They can't be like engulfed by their partner. They need to have that spread out space so they can function properly. It's self-protection. It's not being mean. It's not wickedness to you, even though it feels that way. Stop making every moment about a deep emotional moment. Many of us are like sucked onto this feeling, this emotional thing. They want their partner, their better half, their wife, their husband, to always do everything out of care and love for them. And sometimes certain individuals have to do that care and love on themselves for them to be any good for anybody as well. They also relax when you act calm. I don't like the word act really, but behave. If you behave calm, if you're steady, you're not all over the place, jumpy, you act confident like you know what you're doing, or behave confident like you know what you're doing. Remove the emotional tension. Remove the relationship pressure. It's not always something that you need to talk about. I know it's difficult for a lot of people because they just want to know where they stand. And these people, for whatever reason, they have a hard time giving that. It's like they're giving away themselves when they tell you exactly what the relationship is. They're trying not to identify it because it's like almost like a fear that if they identify it, that'll put more pressure, and then that'll break everything up for some people actually who feel this way. Stop chasing responses. Stop seeking reassurance every hour. Just be. Relief sounds like this: I'm here. I'm good. You don't owe me anything right now. Relief feels like this person doesn't demand my emotional performance. They can just be. For an avoidant individual, relief is the first doorway back into closeness. It is the feeling that tells them, I can breathe around this person, you, right? I'm not being pushed You're not pushing them. I'm not being cornered emotionally. When you do those things to this person, they feel like you're pressuring them into a corner. And it doesn't feel comfortable. Avoidants bond not to intensity, right? And a lot of us are really intense emotionally. They don't bond to that, but they bond to relief, freeness. They want to have anonymity. They want to have control over their life and what they're doing and how their comings and goings go. To the person who doesn't pressure them, to the person who doesn't demand constant emotional output, to the person who can hold their own center. And right there, it's very important. You have to be able to coexist, to be with them without pressuring them into going left or going right or to this date or that date. And it's not that you can't hold them accountable. It's when you start putting things on them, it totally like disrupts their whole nervous system. So it doesn't help you, and it certainly doesn't help them. And if you look at it that way, what will help you be in such a relationship with an individual who has an avoidant personality, who feels pressure when you try to get them to, say, define something, or when you're trying to suck emotion, you want to feel that they emote over you, that you want to feel that this person, like you're getting more satisfaction out of them showing their emotion for you, because it makes you feel more stable, and it makes you feel wanted. It makes you feel stable. It makes you feel safe. But them having to do that constantly will make them feel unsafe. They'll feel like they're responsible to do these things in order for you to feel that way, and at the same time, while they're doing that for you, they're losing themselves. So you need to be a person who is very centered, very okay in your own skin, okay with spending time by yourself and doing your own things and having your own projects and your own friends and your own hobbies, your own job. Everything can't revolve around them. They want to be a part of your life. They don't want to be your life. And although they do want that hugging, that closeness, that loving on them, they also know that there has to be breaks where they can just be themselves and you can be yourself and you guys can come back together after that. But at the same time, knowing that when you're on those small breaks for a day, maybe you want to be in contact every 2 days and they want to be every 3 days, or maybe you want to go out twice a week and they can only do once a week, like not everybody's built to be all over you all day, every day. And that's just the way it is. And that's might be difficult for some people to hear, I guess, but it is what it is. Now, the next part, controlled presence. Tone, calm, authority, slow delivery. So you're not rushing your words. You're not blah, 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 blah. So this is how we're doing this. We're going to go over there. We're going to pick up 5 pounds of this, and over here, we're going to go over there. We're going to pick up the flour from this place. We're going to then take the 2 over to here, and we're going to get our measuring bowls and all of the other utensils that we need to make this thing work and successful. And after that, when we're finished, we're going to take it all home, and we're going to, they want somebody who's clear with what they say, who knows what they're saying. And while they're saying it, they're calm and not bringing a heightened sense of nervous energy, shaking them. They just want you to know what you're doing, what you want to do, what and how you're going to go about doing it. And at the same time, they want you to be able to be calm with it. The second half of this formula is something most people never, never, never master, and that is the controlled presence. Controlled presence, it's not distance, and that's what the automatic, oh, they need space, so no, it's not the distance. It's not being aloof. In other words, nothing affects me. It's water off a duck's back. No, no, no. They still want you to care about things. They still want you to be concerned, but they don't want to feel like you're like standing over them like a puppet master. And it's not playing hard to get. Okay, you don't want over here? I'm going to do this then. No, it's not tit for tat. Controlled presence is emotional discipline. It means you are warm, but you're not chasing. You're good where you are. You're not going to chase something that's not chasing you, first of all. You are available, but you're not pursuing. So, yeah, I could, but it's no, I don't need you every second of the day. I don't need to be where you are. I know the song, I want to be where I don't know what love is and blah, blah, blah. Hey, you can have emotions. You can love to be around, but you don't have to chase everywhere. You don't have to be pursuing them at all times. But you are steady, but not emotional. So in other words, you can understand, you can empathize, but you don't have to fall into a bag of mixed emotions every time something serious happens. They want to see how well you're able to navigate through a cloudy, mucky, foggy day when everything doesn't go your way. You are a present help, but you're not clingy. You don't have to be everywhere they are. You don't have to do everything. You can let them live their life and you can live your life. You are responsive, but not intense. Oh yeah, I can help you, but no, I'm coming now to help you. I'm doing this right now. You don't have to be intense and pressuring, but you can let them know that you are there to support them in whatever and however they want to go about doing whatever and whatever they think they need to get done to maybe fix a situation. But you don't have to put it where it's like, well, if you did this and you did that, then this wouldn't have happened. Now I'm coming over to, no, it's not, they don't want that. You are interested, but you're not over invested. You're not giving too much without any reciprocal action happening. You got to let it breathe. Yeah, this person might be the woman or the man of your dreams. You can state your interest, show your interest better. But at the same time, don't act like you're over interested, because that just tears down your worth and your value. Controlled presence communicates one thing. I see you, I'm here, but I'm also grounded in my own life. And for you, those of you probably anxious, dealing with all kinds of anxiety and just want to be near and want to be close, listen, say this to me, say this with me. I see you, I'm here, but I'm also grounded in my own life. I had a life before you. Now you don't have to repeat this part. I had a life before you and I'll have one after you if such time happens. I am a living and breathing person separate from you. Avoidants are drawn to people who feel calm, who feel strong, who are not threatening, who are stable, predictable, and emotionally self-contained. Controlled presence is the energy of someone who is not trying to pull you closer, but you still feel a pull towards them. You get that? You're not trying to force them to be here and force them to be there, but you feel drawn to them. That's the kind of control. That's the kind of presence you want. It's not that you need them to be right there with you, but you want them to feel that your presence is a calming, peaceful, loving space, And because you have that draw within you, and your care and your love and your concern, but at the same time, you don't have to be with them. You have this within yourself. It's going to make them more drawn to be with you if you're like that. Self-contained, emotionally safe, predictable, stable. You're non-threatening. You're strong and you're calm. No need for 2 basket cases. It's not performance. It's regulation. If anything, the avoidance probably a little performative. They don't want you to have to be a performative person as well. You're more, steady. You're regulated. It's what happens when you stop leaking anxiety, need, tension, or emotional urgency. A controlled presence tells an avoidant, you can come closer if you want. There's no pressure. There's no chase. There's no emotional cost for doing so. Remember, there is no pressure, there's no chase, and there's no emotional cost for investing over here. This combination, relief and controlled presence, is what naturally resets an avoidant. Because it's not games, right? You're not trying to manipulate them. It's not silence, so you just, I'm not talking to you anymore. It's not punishment, and you're not disappearing. You're still there. You're available, but you do have boundaries. You're not necessarily going to bend this way and that way. You have stuff you do on Wednesdays, right? You have stuff that you do on Tuesdays. You have a place you have to be between 9 to 5. You're regulated. Your presence is there, but you're not going to be everywhere. And your time is valuable. So the question is, why does this work? Avoidant people don't fear love. They fear needing someone. So they do like, and they do love to be loved, love to love you. But they don't want to be in a position where they can't function without someone. They don't fear closeness. They fear losing themselves, almost like non-existing. And if something happens to you, or you turn or you twist or you change on them, they want to know that they still have a life and they still exist outside of you. They don't want to lose themselves. So they don't fear closeness. They just fear losing themselves. They don't fear you. They fear the emotional weight of your expectation. You'll expect them to be this way. You'll expect them to do that. You'll expect them to be here and be on time for that, and give them responsibilities about this, and worse, have your heart as a responsibility for them to take care of as well. Because they know that they don't always have the right answers, the right responses to things, and they're concerned. Their nervous system is wired around autonomy. They're around self-reliance, around their own independence. So when someone shows up with intensity, urgency, pressure, or emotional weight, they feel threatened. They don't feel loved. So you might think, well, hey man, time is of the essence. What are we doing here? We have a couple more good birthing years to have a kid. Understand that nobody loved me as a child, and I'm expecting you to give me all this motherly, girlfriend, wifey love. And at the same time, I don't want you to feel threatened, but understand that I need love, and I'm expecting it all from you. They can't handle that. It's too much. You still need to be getting love from elsewhere, still need to be able to have different relationships outside of your relationship with them. And even if they do actually supply all of those needs for you, let it be at least unstated. But when someone shows up calm, when someone regulates their own emotions, when someone stands steady, confident, and centered, the avoidant person's nervous system relaxes enough to approach. Avoidants don't come closer to pressure. When there's pressure, you're going to see them hide. You're going to see them run. They can feel it from a mile away. You almost feel like it's a sixth sense. Yeah, they can feel when you're upset because they're very attuned to it. They come closer to peace. Yeah. There's nothing like peace for an avoidant. If that could be your whole demeanor, your whole thing is salam or shalom, peace, calm. Teaching men and women how to apply this. Okay. Here's how you teach this as a guide or as a communicator, I guess, if you wanted to do this or just want to do this for yourself. Listen, first of all, you have to stop asking for constant reassurance. You're going to have to find it within yourself to understand that this person does care for you. But it's not their responsibility to make you feel reassured in your situation. You have to find that within yourself. You have to be able to glean from what is happening, how you're getting along together, that everything is straight. Especially if they already told you. And you're just trying to find little funny ways of making them display this for you. No, you're just stressing them out. Stop needing immediate emotional answers. They need time. They want to be able to think. Stop chasing a response, and therefore causing little blurps and blips in the situation just so you can kind of suck out an answer out of them. It doesn't make things better for either of you. Speak calmly instead of emotionally dumping all the time and trying to get a reaction like a feeling out of them. Stop over explaining. Just say what it is. That's enough. You breaking down every tidbit of a story, a situation of whatever, and how you're feeling and why you're feeling it and how long it made you feel that way and you want to stop feeling it and blah, 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 blah. It's too much. They're not going to pay attention to the whole message. As a matter of fact, they're going to miss most of it if it's too long. And stop forcing relationship labels. I mean, at the end of the day, I think if you're right with them and you're able to treat them properly, they'll come with the relationship label talk. But if you are too much of a presence and too emotional around them, they are going to be on the very outskirts of even thinking about bugging you about it. And they're going to be really annoyed when you bug them about the label for what your relationship is. Let silence be comfortable. Don't let it always be an unavailable, uneasy, uncomfortable silence, because there's something that needs to be thought about and presented every time there's some silence. Like, just let things breathe and chill. Give space without panic. It shouldn't be forced space. It should be just, there's space over there. Chill out. Don't have to think about nothing. Don't have to give any answers about anything. Don't have to talk about relationship labels. Nobody's dumping emotional stuff all over them. They're just allowing them to be. Slow down the pace. Show confidence in your own life. When people stop pushing for the emotional output, avoidants come closer on their own and bring all that stuff that you wanted anyways. You just have to allow them to do it on their own time. And how can we show an emotional, or sorry, how we can show a controlled presence? Well, stay grounded in your own life. Keep up with your own schedules. Have your own friends, your own things, your own hobbies, your own job, your own money, your own interests. Try to keep a calm tone when you talk to them. Don't come in all escalated every time. Not to say that you don't have feelings, but don't bring the unnecessary crazy energy if you don't need to. If you can hold it down, stop trying to get them to react to everything you say. That's a big thing. Just trying to get a reaction out of them is the wrong way to go. They'll do that on their own if you allow space for them to. They need to know that their feelings are coming from them and not some kind of a display from you. Respond without urgency. So respond to whatever's happening, but don't do it like it's the last time ever, whatever it is. Stay warm, not cold. Show interest, but don't chase. Be consistent. Be around. Be available. Keep your boundaries. Avoid emotional extremes. Go crazy. Don't come on all and cry and wipe those tears before you walk in. Be steady in communication. Be chaste in your behavior. Let connection unfold naturally. Control presence is emotional maturity in action. So what do they respond to versus what do they run from? Well, we know that avoidants respond to a calm person, a stable, stability, consistency, low pressure, emotional independence, predictability, warmth without demands. I'm over here. Come for that hug if you want, or you can just stay beside me and lean up against me if you want. Like, no forced anything. No pressured anything. Give space, but don't make it a punishment. I'll be over here for 2 weeks when they're only asking you to give them a week, right? Don't add any extra sauce on it for spite. They want connection, but they don't want all the crazy stuff that comes with it, the chaos. And they want a partner who feels light, not heavy, and that doesn't have anything to do with your weight. They don't want to feel you come with all of that extra energy pressure of a horrible time, because they already have a horrible time in most cases on their own, and for you to bring more of that is just no good. They're attracted to calm, peace, light, a light energy, not a heavy energy. And what do they run from? They run from emotional pressure, intensity, urgency. These are all pushing things, right? You press down on a pot, right? It's pressure. There's intensity in you holding it there. There's an urgency, so there's a fight. There's no leeway. There's no elasticity. There's no bend. There's no ease. They run from clinging. If you're holding on, they run from that. The guilt trips, they don't work. They make things worse. Emotional dependence. You got to be your own person. And overgiving. Don't give them too much stuff that they don't feel like they've earned. Let them earn it, because then they'll know it's real and it's not some sort of a scam. And don't be interrogative. Where were you? What was this? What was that? Why'd you do that? Who's over there? All that stuff just kind of shuts them down. Or when you demand for consistent closeness, you need to see them every second day or every day. A lot of them can't do it. Most of them can't do it. How to reset distance without manipulation. And that's the thing, is like, how do you do it without being manipulative? When distance happens, don't chase. Don't lecture. Don't panic. Just be there. Of course, speak your piece, but don't try to teach them into not doing whatever it is that caused that distance in the first place. They need it. But do these 3 things. Don't chase, stay calm. Don't lecture, but let them know that you're present. Don't panic, just stay self-contained. You become the emotional safe baseline. Distance resets itself when your pressure drops. So let me end with this, guys. Avoidants are not broken. They are not cold. They are not heartless. They are simply wired to protect themselves from emotional overwhelm. And most of the time, they pull away not because they don't care, but because they don't know how to handle closeness without losing themselves. When you become the person who doesn't chase, doesn't panic, doesn't pressure, doesn't force intensity, and doesn't collapse emotionally when they need a little space, you become someone they can genuinely feel safe approaching. You become the calm they never had. You become the steady presence they trust. You become the warmth they don't have to run from. Relief is healing. Controlled presence is attraction. And together they create connection that feels safe instead of suffocating. This isn't manipulation, it's maturity. It's emotional regulation. It's learning how to create relationships where nobody has to run away, because nobody is being emotionally chased. If you master these 2 skills, your relationships won't feel confusing anymore. They'll feel balanced, they'll feel safe, they'll feel natural, and they will grow. Anyhow, y'all, until next time, take care of your mind, take care of your heart, and learn to become the calm someone can finally come home to and call home for life. Take care. I'm MCM, and this is You're Probably Right. Take care. Bye-bye. Hey, come check out You're Probably Right podcast. Society is getting more unpredictable every day, but at the same time, predictable in its unpredictability. Say that 4 times real fast. Come with me as I attempt to find clarity in all the fog while staying way outside the box and kicking the box way down the road with my size 12 dogs. I use the Bible, experience, education, fortune, misfortune, life's lessons, life's mistakes to sort through all the mess. I talk about news, God, God, self-help, sports, sickness, health, music, parenting, love, humbleness, hurt, pain, joy, and all the things that might make you say, I never thought of it that way. Hopefully, anyway. Also, I take a stab at answering tough and not so tough questions, and all the while, understand that, listen, sometimes you end up in the hot seat and there's no thermostat. Well, that's how it is here. And because there's no topic, very few topics off the table, Torontonians will understand that Doug Ford reference there. Hopefully the podcast will be helpful and uplifting. And hey, maybe you'll find your own private Idaho here somewhere. Hope to see you soon.